The Pies break a four-game losing streak with a nice win over Richmond. Let's talk about it. So you have to excuse the quality of the video. I forgot to pack my light because I am off to a dinner right now. So I'm in the Craigieburn Station car park recording this before I go to the dinner. But I wanted to get this up today for you guys. Oh, finally we get a win. It's it was a good win. It was a good performance. Probably the best that we've played in a while. And I guess I hate that. I hate that I have to sort of preface everything that I sort of say with like, oh, I know it was against the 18th team, or I know this went our way, or I know blah 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 blah. But you can't. As someone who talks about the Pies and stuff, and has a lot of opposition supporters watching, I can't say, oh, they played really well and Nick Dacos got 42, because then comments will be like, oh, but you played against Richmond, the 18th. Well, yeah, like we know, brother. Like, we know. So I'm just sort of preparing myself for that. But yeah, so it was a good performance. I think the first three quarters were really good. The last quarter, we really put the Q in the rack. So that was poor. The last quarter was poor. I think they kicked three. Richmond kicked 3 goals, three in that last quarter to our one goal. We needed the percentage boost, but I will take a win. It was only a 26-point win in the end. I would have liked, a 40, 50-point win, and we probably could have. But Q in the rack, and it looked like we just wanted to preserve ourselves, because we've been getting injuries left, right, centre, everywhere, even before this game started. So Jordan De Goey is a late out, Joe Richards comes in. Joe Richards is a laid out, Lockie Sullivan comes in. We've been getting injuries, left, right, and centre. So I think they just wanted to put the Q in the rack, take it really easy. They had a nice buffer, I think it was a 42-point buffer or something. So a nice little buffer, and then just take the next half hour easy, go into the rest of the year with trying to get a clean bill of health. I think that well, not I think I know that first quarter was our best first quarter of the year. I think we scored 38 points, and that was electrifying. There was a lot of nice link up play. Mason Cox back in the team. He didn't really do much, but he helped, man. Like, he's a threat, and we have someone long to kick down to the line to and bring it to ground. Like, I know, this was his first game back in what, 9 weeks maybe. So he's got a bit to go, but he's getting some of his strut back. He's American strut back, which is good. And he's a good foil with Dan McStay as well when they go up forward, especially because we don't have any Mycheck anymore, and we probably won't even if we do make finals. So we need Cox and McStay to stay healthy. Talking about McStay, 3 goals, a bunch of contested marks, a bunch of marks in general. He is, he is the missing piece to our Collingwood cog. We don't get into the grand final without him, without his efforts last year, and this year you can just tell how much we're missing a tall marking big forward, and Brody Mycheck can't do it all on his own. And Dan Mix, like, we would be, I know, is it facetious? Is that the word I'm trying to look for? But we probably would be top four if we had Dan McStay playing for most of the year. But it is what it is, and now we're fighting for the top 8. But it was good to see him back these last 2 weeks. Last week they managed his minutes a little bit. This week they gave him a little bit more, and it was very good to see. I love Dan up there. We've been crying out for a key forward. We finally get one. Nick Dacos, 42 disposals. What was it? 18 contested possessions or something. 12 clearances. Just absolutely on fire, doing what he does best. Josh Dacos in his new role. So we talked about it in the preview for this game, where I wanted Josh off halfback. He was training off halfback. So we have that slick ball movement now going into from the halfback line. So that's where he gathered most of his possessions, off that halfback line, and then a little bit up the wing, like around the forward flank. But he had 32 disposals. I think Jack Bytel did well. Ned Long, 10 tackles. I dare say that they probably play Ned Long and Patrick Cripps next week, just to sort of mitigate that, like a run with role, like Scott Pendlebury would do. But yeah, there was a lot of good individual performance. Bobby Hill played better. Lockie Schultz played better on his return. Jamie Elliott took another really good mark. So there was a lot of, I think everyone really, really, really stood up. Darcy Moore was even better, getting better than last week as well. So that was really good. But there were a lot was a lot to be left desired. I thought, even though Dan kicked 3 goals and he tried his best, um, our entries into the forward 50 were just shit house. I think they don't know how to use a big key forward because we haven't had one for so long. So that's still, got a bit of work to do there. I think, I know that we're a territory team. I know that we're bombing it long and yada, yada, yada. But especially in that last quarter, we were just kicking it. It was just turnover city. Like, we had 70 turnovers for the game, which was more than Richmond. So Richmond had all of these intercept possessions. And mainly they were intercept marks from us kicking it, just bombing it long and not lowering our eyes, like not bringing the ball to ground when we needed to. I think that's the biggest thing with us going forward, is that we definitely need to start lowering our eyes and not just bombing it long, trying to find a piece. Mark City, like, chip it around if you have to, instead of just bombing it long and waiting for, these tools to outmark you. If it's Comden, if it's fucking Jacob Wiedering, if it's Harris Andrews, Tom Stewart. It was obviously the Richmond guys today, but like, we just need to lower our eyes and just start chipping the ball around. I just don't want to see the ball get smashed right in 20 meters out from goal, and no effort, a Richmond or some other player takes the mark, and then we've got to come all the way back. Like, it doesn't work like that. But for those first 3 quarters, we weren't doing that too much, and I was just really happy with the way we played. I'm really happy that we got a win on the board after 4 bloody weeks of no reason. Our first win post bye. Like, our first win since the North Melbourne game. Like, what a long, long month it's been. I know there's still such a long way to go. We've got 4 games left of the home and away season. We take on Carlton next week. But I think this was a good little stepping stone. And it's sometimes these teams that you need to play in front of you. Like, we've got a hard 4 weeks coming up, but we had to play this Richmond side just to get confidence back up, Like, I don't think it would have been a confidence booster if we had just won by 6 points or something. But winning by, it was like 26 points in the end, being up by 40 points, putting the queue in the rack, subbing Pendle's off for his 400. I think, these little things, just confidence booster, confidence for Bobby, confidence for Lockie Schultz. Another week into Dan McStay, Danny Boy. Another week into Mason Cox. So, as a game where the run home is going to be tough, we looked good. We looked okay. Poor performance in that last quarter. But that last quarter actually reminds me of the Hawthorn game last week in that last quarter. So in that last quarter, we threw caution to the wind and needed to attack goals, right? We needed to get goals. So we needed to attack and play on and do all these things. But what that did was open it up for Hawthorn to kick goals as well in that last quarter. But we only kicked, 2 goals to 3/4 time or something stupid, like 2 or 3 goals to 3/4 time. So we needed to do something. And when we were talking to Craig McRae, when he was at training and he came around the boundary, he said to us, don't take too much or don't look too much into that last quarter, because we had to change the game plan to just kick goals, because we're not happy with 1 goal up until halfway through the 3rd quarter. So we had to change something. But that's not our game plan. So don't look into that last quarter. As to why, So I think that was a lot to do with today. Not looking into that last quarter too much. Yes, the percentage booster would have been good, but not looking into it too much, and focusing on the good parts of the game. But I can say that it was a poor quarter. We needed that percentage boost, but I'm just happy with the win. 5 losses in a row would have been whack. But yeah, super happy with the win. And we go on from here now, and it's a Pendle's 400. Got a couple of videos coming out for Pendle's 400. It's going to be nice. I can't wait. Huge weight off the shoulders for just for getting that win. It feels good. I don't care who it's in front of. Feels good. It was a good crowd. It was a good day. And yeah, like, here we go. Knuckle down. There's 4 weeks to go. It's going to be a big run home. And up the pies. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, single Saka. I'll see you later.